Hey, happy day. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with an interesting idiom today. Obviously about butterflies, right? We've got butterflies fluttering and flying all over me. I think it's the perfect frame for today's idiom. I also have the perfect t-shirt. I've got butterflies, of course, on my chest, but they go down to my stomach as well, but it's too hard to see when we're doing videos. But butterflies in your stomach, of course, this expression means that fluttery, nervous feeling that you get in your stomach, or that some people call it a nervous stomach, some people call it the flutters, that nervous, anxious feeling that you often feel in your stomach when you're going to do something that you're a little anxious about. You maybe have to give a speech or a talk or deliver some bad news to your team, or you have a business result or a business experience that's not going as you had expected or wanted. Fear over what might happen, right? Because usually we feel fear over things that might happen, and so often they don't even ever happen. Have you ever had to give a presentation or get an emergency loan from a lender or present in front of venture capitalists? Whatever it might be, a lot of us are just having nervous stomachs and feeling nervous about our businesses and getting butterflies in our stomach because of what's going on outside of us. There's so much outside of our control right now with what's going on in the world with the COVID-19 pandemic, that no matter what your business situation, whether your business is booming, because I'm working with people like that right now, or whether your business is totally shut down, there's cause for us to have flutters and nervous feelings in our stomach. This expression actually was first recorded in 1908, so it's been around, for like 100 years almost. Actually, it's been around for more than 100 years. What am I saying? 1908. And that means it affects a lot of us. I know I have totally used the expression butterflies in my stomach. I've got butterflies in my stomach before I would do a speech or a presentation, before I would teach a class, before I would deliver bad news to one of my teams, or sometimes you even get nervous like before a good event, right? You get butterflies in your stomach. I totally had butterflies in my stomach before I got married, and that was a good event. Definitely had butterflies and a whole lot of stuff in my stomach when I had my kids. So all of us as human beings, of course, not just as business owners, are nervous and uncertain right now, so we have butterflies in our stomach. But what do we do about it, right? It's one thing to feel something, but we have to know what we can do about it in order to feel better, right? We have to have some way to regain some sense of certainty and control in uncertain times and in times and situations where we don't have control. A lot of times it's not anything nearly as big as a pandemic, right? A global pandemic, but things happen in our businesses all the time, whether you're just starting out, whether you've been in business for a while, whether you're a seasoned veteran in building and growing businesses. We all know that the world is full of uncertainty and we have ups and downs all the time. And we want to make sure that we're trending up and making progress all the time. But there's going to be those times when we have that nervous, anxious, butterfly, fluttery feeling in our stomach. And what can we do about it? I do a couple things about it. Number one, I plan and I prepare, right? We can all plan and prepare. We can do our homework. We can research, right? We can ask questions and ask for help. We can look for mentors. We can look for coaches. We can look for people that we can model that have done something that we want to do that is making us nervous, to add more certainty that we'll get the outcome that we want. We can create routines and habits and processes and procedures and systems. I'm all about those things to be able to predict the results that we're going to get for our business and for our own lives, right? I have a morning routine. I've had a morning routine for like a decade, and just because we're in a pandemic, just because I have ups and downs, just because I'm in a good mood or a bad mood when I get out of bed some mornings, don't we all get out of the wrong side of the bed once in a while? I still follow my morning routine because that instantly puts me in the frame of mind and more in control of how I feel and what I want to do and what I want to experience in my life. So routines and habits and processes and procedures and systems. And there's a lot of organizations, a lot of businesses right now that are nervous and have butterflies in their stomach because they're so in the massive change mode in order to operate. There are businesses manufacturing products and services that they have never manufactured before, right? And that requires a lot of change and a lot of on-the-fly, seat-of-your-pants decision-making that's hard for a lot of individuals. And they don't necessarily have a choice in it. There's manufacturers that are making ventilators and face masks and hand sanitizer and things that have never made anything like that before. I just found out yesterday my uncle and some of his friends started a distillery in Indiana, and they're now making hand sanitizer. They never knew how to make hand sanitizer. They're new to the distillery business, but all of a sudden they've flipped over. I know they're not doing it mandatorily, they did it voluntarily, but a lot of businesses are having to do things like that they've never done before, to help out in this situation, to help out in the crisis in any way that we can. The other thing I like to do and remind people to do is focus on what's possible. Do what you can, and I say this all the time, not just during a pandemic. Do what you can with what you've got right now, right? Look at the resources, get resourceful, but do what you can. Focus on what you can do, not on what you can't do. Focus on what you're grateful for, what is working, what's going right in your life, or what possibly could be going right in your life, because now, if your business is shut down, I don't know about you, but back in my business building days, I was so busy working on in my business, I wasn't always having the time and energy left over to work on my business. And there were projects, I always had, the 400 item to-do list of what I wanted to do for my business and for my life that I just could never get to because I was so busy in there digging in, building, growing, working on whatever needed to be done. So now it's actually a gift of time that I never saw in my career. I've never seen a gift and a chunk of time like this in my career before. And so there's things to look at that we might be feeling like they're bad, but if we flip them over, there's probably a lot of good coming out the other side of those. The other thing I do and I encourage people to do is breathe, move. Remember to move. Don't get stuck and dormant. Physically move your body. Listen to music, meditations, breathe, pray, whatever works for you. Do the things that you know make you feel good. Me, bubble baths. I'm into bubble baths. Every time I feel like I'm grumpy or ornery or frustrated over something or stuck mentally or physically, I'll do something physical like take a bubble bath, go outside, take a walk, get some fresh air, get in the sunshine. I'm really amazed at how few people are out moving around the world and not congregating. We can be physically separated, but still each and every one of us be getting some time with nature and some fresh air. So that's it. Those are my tips, and I don't know how many there were, probably 4 or 5. Have routines and habits that empower you. Focus on the possibilities, what you can do, not what you can't do. Move, breathe, get out there and be interacting in your world. Do what you can do, not what you can't do. And focus on the possibilities, and then ask for help. Do some research, plan, get some information. Make sure that you're doing what makes you feel good, and that will positively impact your business and all of those people around you. That's it. Have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. Where does it come from? What does it mean? And how might you be able to apply it to your life right now? If I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. If there's an idiom you'd like me to research and look up, I would love to do that. I'm running thin on my book. I think today was day 404 or something of different idioms. So that's 404 different phrases and sayings or idioms that we've discussed that can help you just get a different perspective and look at things in a different way. And sometimes that's all we need, is just to see things differently. All right, have a fantastic day. Bye. I'm gonna go hang out with the butterflies.